Well, good afternoon. I'm recording in the car on my way down to Fredericksburg to see my son Peter and to try once again to get that Mac Pro working. Actually, just try to get it to freaking boot. I went through this struggle. I may have talked about this last week when I also recorded a video, though I haven't done anything with it. When I got the GTX 980 graphics card, my original plan was to keep that Mac Pro running as long as I possibly could, and to basically wait until Apple came out with a new Mac Pro. Well, it doesn't seem to matter what I did with that Mac Pro, including, updating the graphics card, because nothing worked. I could not get that machine to live cast no matter what I did. It was just I won't call it a nightmare, because it's really, we're talking first world problem. And when you try to compare that to, people who can't get water or don't have enough to eat or are living in war zones, the fact that I can't do a live cast on Wednesday nights is not exactly high up there on the list of, oh my God, my life is terrible, no matter what YouTube celebrities may believe. So I bought the new iMac, and it's a screamer. 4.2 gigahertz, and it's got 8 gigabyte video card, 16 gigs of RAM, 3 terabyte Fusion drive, which I'm kind of meh about. I mean, I still have it. Actually, it's right here in my pocket. I have a 2 terabyte SSD, which is what I originally had in the Mac Pro, and I kind of wish now I had left it in there. Because trying to get that machine to boot with the GTX 980 card was just crazy. And I finally did get it to work, and it was working well, but it hasn't worked so well for Peter. It's been just one problem after another. We can't even get the machine to boot properly. So my plan today is to connect the 2 terabyte SSD that I had in the machine before and see if we can boot off that, and then see what I did to make it work, because it shouldn't take an SSD. The problem isn't that the SSD is not working, that the rotational drive with the same software won't boot the machine, because that's just nonsense. The problem is,
in 1,000 feet,
hold on.
Exit right.
Yes, I will. The problem is getting the machine to recognize.
In 900 feet, exit to exit 166A, State Route 286 South, Fairfax County Parkway, Newington, Fort Belvoir. Exit right to exit 166A, State Route 286 South, Fairfax County Parkway, Newington, Fort Belvoir.
Yeah, okay.
In 2.7 miles. exit to exit 163, Virginia 642, Lorton.
It's trying to get me to go back to Route 1 so that I can take Route 1 to I-95, which is what I'm on right now. When it originally told me to get off of Route 1 to go up the Fairfax County Parkway to get to 95. So I'm using the Waze program, which I like because it alerts me to road hazards, it alerts me to cars stopped on the side of the road, it alerts me to cops sitting waiting for unwary travelers that are going too fast. But this is weird that it told me to go one way and now it's trying to get me to turn around and go back the other way. I don't know. But that's not what I was talking about. So the plan is to connect up the 2 terabyte SSD that I originally had going and worked before and see what the differences are between the operating system that is currently on the Mac Pro and the operating system that I had working off of the 2 terabyte SSD when I had the Mac Pro. And Peter is justifiably frustrated. He was all excited about getting...
In 1 mile, exit right to exit 163, Virginia 642, Lorton.
He was all excited. Oh, okay. Now I think I understand why it wants me to get off this highway.
Estimated time in traffic, 9 minutes.
Yeah, so we got some bad traffic here. I probably definitely should have gotten on the okay, you know what? Now I get it. I get what it was trying to get me to do. It wanted me to get onto the VRE, and I didn't. So I kind of screwed myself here. All right. So I have no idea what's going to happen. If it's only 9 minutes, then it's not that big a deal. So back to the plan. The plan today is to boot the Mac Pro off of the 2 terabyte SSD that I was using before. I've probably said this a couple times, but every single time I start to talk about it, something weird happens. I start getting into traffic. I don't like traffic. And there's nothing I can do about it. When you're in traffic, you're in traffic. Alrighty. So that's the plan. Boot off this, see what the differences are between the operating system that's on the rotational drive that's currently in the machine and the 2 terabyte SSD that I have in my pocket that I was using before. That's the plan. And to try to get it so that Peter can boot this machine when he wants to, can shut it down when he wants to, with the knowledge and forethought that when he boots it again, that he'll be able to do something with it. So that's the plan. The other thing I need to do...
Exit right to exit 163, Virginia 642, Lorton.
No, I won't be doing that. The other thing I need to do while I'm down here in Fredericksburg is exchange a dish towel. Now, my other
In 900 feet, turn right on Lorton Road.
My other son...
Continue straight for 50 minutes to exit 133A, US 17 Business, Falmouth.
Okay, I'll do that. My other son, I keep trying to say, Guy, is in Fredericksburg right now. And he's down there visiting some friends. And my wife had originally asked him to bring back a dish towel. I got it right here. Here's the dish towel. because it wasn't the funny one that she wanted. So I haven't even looked at this myself. It says, my cooking is so awesome, even the smoke alarm cheers me on. That's what it says. It's not the one she wanted. The one she wanted had something to do with having too much stuff in her house, which we do. We have so much stuff. You know, we're in a... How can you be in a big house, 5-bedroom house, and have it be crowded? It's mostly because, well, I mean, I do it to a certain extent too, but the stuff that I hang on to much longer than I should is typically pretty small, except for the comic books. If I could, I've got over 50 long boxes of comic books, and I really, really need to just get rid of those things. But I'm not just going to give them away. You know, they represent a significant, I don't want to call it an investment, because I didn't buy them as an investment. I bought them because I like comic books. But I'm not just going to give them away either. If I could get $2,000 for these 50 boxes, and each box has easily got $300 to $400 worth of comic books in it. I mean, just face value, $300 to $400. Then I would be satisfied, and we would gain a lot of space back in the house. Now, the other thing that we could do, and it's kind of coming to a head with some other stuff that's going on in our lives, is just get some extra storage space somewhere. We actually had a storage locker that we just had a bunch of junk in, and we ended up getting rid of it and just bringing all the stuff back into the house. But I would like to revisit that and get some of the stuff out of the house. And what's kind of brought all this to a head is my sister-in-law is in the process of a divorce, and she and her soon-to-be ex-husband sold their house in Fort Lauderdale, and they're going to, go their separate ways. But there's a bunch of furniture that, some of it they bought together, some of it is stuff that my wife and her sister's mother and grandmother gave to them. But now that she's sold that house and she's moved to Boise, Idaho to help take care of my wife and her mother, she doesn't need all this stuff. So she's given a lot of their furniture away to her two sons, which is fine. And Tracy went down there and determined the pieces that she would like that belong to their mother and grandmother. And so now we've got one of those storage pods coming, and that's where all that furniture is. So we have to make some decisions on what we're going to do with all of this stuff. And we don't really know. Tracy doesn't know. It's not like we needed more furniture. And, she makes it sound like, well, we're going to give that away to, Guy and Peter when they get their own places or they need it. Well, Peter has moved out. He's living in an apartment down here in Fredericksburg, and he and his girlfriend have more than enough furniture for everything that they need. So for now, until they move into someplace bigger, They don't need any more furniture. So we're going to end up with this stuff in storage for a really, really long time. Such is life. And that's pretty much all I got for today. I've talked a lot. Not really said much.
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Oh no, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead. So we'll pick this up another time. Bye everybody.